Hello. Okay, this is my third time making this video. So, okay. So, the other day, today is July 24th, 2017. Leia, hey, come over here. Come here. Okay, so, I made a video saying that if my friends weren't there for me and stuff like that, then I'd go out and make new friends. I will always make new friends and stuff like that, but the one person that I really, really, truly need to be my friend is myself. And that's really huge for me, and I know that, but like a part of me, I don't know, it's like I always feel like, yeah, like I've always been my friend, but it's like, I feel like I'm kind of like, you gotta be there for yourself, but when other people are there for you and stuff like that, like, a huge problem that I have is that I really hold on to things. I hold on to my past. I hold on to it like it's, like, because it is a part of me, but I hold on to it like it's, and I look back and I try to understand things. I go back and I replay things so that I have some kind of understanding as to why things were a certain way or why I am a certain way, and, excuse me, because I'm trying to understand the way that I am and why I am this way, and just, so I know, so I can go back and like reflect on how I'm feeling and stuff like that, and what went on and why I acted a certain way, because, like, people don't act a certain way for nothing. I know I was talking about the whole thing where, like, if people, like the what if situation where if somebody, if they didn't make enough money and stuff like that, they ever came across something like that, then somebody would go out and have sex with somebody else for money. That was really fueled by a lot of anger and stuff like that, and it was a what if situation, and not only them missing out on what is now, but it was also me, like, you always have to communicate with people, and I don't think that what I was feeling was necessarily wrong. Like, I don't think that I was really wrong for feeling the way that I do, because that's just my own personal opinion, and people have the right to feel however they feel, Not that things are gonna happen like that, but, like, we always need to communicate with people so that, if somebody does feel that way, like, if somebody would do that, then it's like, okay. Like, that person would do anything they could. I hope that that would never happen, and that should be the end of the discussion, It's not that you would cheat on me or something, so that would happen. It's just that if that happened, then, then they would do that. But hopefully that would never become a situation. End of discussion. I can breathe about that, but it's just like, so much of my life, so much of the things that I've gone through have been really traumatic for me, because, like, I can't even put into words. Like, there are just so many things that have happened in my life that have made me very resentful and very, like, I'm aware of everything that goes on. And, like, I notice when people act certain ways around people. I notice that I can feel things, like vibes and stuff that people give off, and I think that the biggest thing about all of this is communication. I think that people need to be able to sit down at the table and really genuinely talk about things instead of yelling about things, because no, like, those things weren't happening then. Like, nobody was going off and having sex with anybody for money. It was just a hypothetical, like, theory and stuff like that about what if that happened, and, this is how we would deal with that. But I also don't think that people should miss out what they have in front of them, because that wasn't happening then. It wasn't happening, and it was a very sensitive subject to me, because it's something that really, truly, like, hurt me. Like, it's a very, like, I don't ever want the person that I love to feel like they need to do that, to, like, sell their body so that we could have a house and roof over our head, you know? That's me personally. I don't feel that that needs to happen. But if it did happen, then holy shit, like, I need to step it up, and I would do anything that I could so that wouldn't happen, you know? That's just me personally. But if the other person feels that way, then okay. But like, I feel like we miss out so much talking about what if, and we talk about so much about future things that we miss out on what's in front of us now, you know? And a huge part of, you know, we can't, like, that's a future thing. Just like how when I go into the past and I try to recognize and like see myself in the way that I acted, like why I acted this way, you know, that's different, because those are things that I can reflect on, you know, I can reflect on the way that I used to be. But in the future, we can't control the future. We have no idea what's going to happen in the future, so let's not miss out on what we have right now for things that could happen down the road. The only things that we can control now is right now, here in front of us, the present, because the present is all that we have. And just like with the past, like, I know I hold things onto things. I've been hurt so much that I have a lot of resentment over, not even necessarily cis guys, because I have no problem with cis guys, but it's just like, if I'm talking to somebody and they hide things from me, you know, just be honest. Like, that's the biggest thing. Like, okay, like, I don't mean to make anybody feel like shit about them having friends or guy friends or anything like that. Just be honest with me. Like, don't hide that you're talking to them. Don't hide that you have friends and stuff like that. Like, just be honest, you know, just introduce me to your friends. Like, include me in your life. I don't think that it's that hard, and that's not a bad thing, you know, because I want to be a part of your life. Like, I would be the person that you'd be with, so please include me. You know, I can't learn anything if you keep all that stuff inside, and then, like, it's important to have your own life and stuff like that, but, like, if the people don't even know that you're, like, in a relationship with somebody, or if they don't even know that, like, anything, like, you gotta just be honest about who you are, too, you know, and not, like, lie, or not even lie, but not, like, say things. It's not even about lying, because if you don't even mention that you have a boyfriend, or if you don't mention that you have somebody and then you're talking to somebody, you have to be able to do that. Because if you don't, then it gives people the wrong idea, and it's not a good thing. Like, you always have to keep the people in consideration for what you do. You always have to keep the people that you love in consideration. So if you do something, you have to think about them too, you know? And it's not that, like, you necessarily give up all your rights as a person and, like, your rights to be happy or anything like that, doing what makes you happy. Do what makes you happy, but you should always include people in those things, you know? Like, the people that matter to you, the people who you prioritize, and the people who matter to you, include them in your life. Like, include your friends in things. You include your family in things, you know? And I don't think it's too much to ask for people to take other people's feelings into consideration. I think that that's a huge thing that really is important to me, and now after this, you know, that's a main thing. Like, I just want people to communicate with me. Whether you know, there's something going on that, you know, would make me feel bad or something, please talk to me about it, you know, because I want to hear those things. I don't want you to feel like you have to lie to me and have to censor yourself and censor your happiness and like conform to, like, some idea that you think that I want you to be or something like that. Like, please be yourself. Please come as you are, and I will take you as you are. And if things work out, then they work out, and if they don't, then they don't. But I want authenticity. I want, like, things to be genuine. I don't want you to feel like you have to lessen yourself to be something that I want. You know what I mean? Just like I don't want to feel that way with other people. You know, just, it's the same thing on both sides. It should be a mutual thing. And that's really important. you know. I was talking about the past, you know, so the past is something that I really hold on to a lot because I really want to understand things, and I hold on to it because I'm not over it, because there are things that are going on in my present that, like, that didn't change from my past. Things that, you know, and like they say, like, things are going to continue to happen and stuff like that if you don't change, you know. And maybe holding on to the past is what made things not change, and I recognize that, you know. I recognize that, but also, you know, it's also a huge thing too, because it was probably my intuition telling me that, like, you know, there are red flags, things that are going on that happened in your past or happened in that relationship that are happening again. And I want to communicate how I feel, and I want that to be taken in just like how I want them to talk to me about how they feel too. And I know I'm rushing all of this, but it's just a lot, you know. It's a lot of stuff that really is important to me, because I think that, like, that's why this stuff happened, and maybe this is why this happened, so that I could recognize that I have to let go of those things, and I will, and I am, and I'm doing my best to, and that's why I'm healing, you know. And today I talked to Devin, and we talked about things, and she said that she was sorry. She acknowledged my feelings, and she acknowledged that she hurt me, and I acknowledged that I hurt her too, and that's what's important. I feel like now I can finally breathe. I feel a lot lighter, because it's like, thank you for at least acknowledging my feelings, you know. And that's important, you know, because we can't go through life just blowing through things, and, you know, you can't just forget it and then just forget about that. You gotta talk things out. You gotta actually conclude things and stuff like that. You can't just argue and then just drop it. You gotta work through that stuff, and then be like, get to that point where, okay, like, things are happening, and, you know, like the thing that I was talking about with having sex with people for money, like, that was a hypothetical, like, in the future type question, you know. That's how you would feel about it, and this is how I would feel about it, you know. It's not, I'm not saying that you're cheating, I'm not saying that you're doing anything like that. That's just the type of person that you are. You would be willing to do that for, if your kids didn't have any money, and I would work my ass off and do everything so that you wouldn't have to do that for money, you know what I mean? And, like, it doesn't mean that you're a whore, it doesn't mean that you are, you know, any of that stuff. It just means that you would be willing to do something like that for the people you love, and that's you. And I would do all that I could for, you know, the same thing. But it doesn't mean that that's happening right now, and I don't want to miss out on what's happening right now. And so that's it, you know. Like, we would do anything for each other, and that was the main thing. And I think that we both missed out on that, you know. I know that I took it in a way that was very, like, anger. A lot of anger was hidden behind it, because it was a lot of stuff that was really traumatic for me because of my own past experiences with my personal life, you know, that really fueled the way that I felt about things. But I believe that, you know, and they're valid just like you're valid, you know, just like the things that she said were valid too, you know. And I just think that it's really important to be able to actually talk to people about how you feel, instead of, like, just arguing and then just drop it. Like, no, like, you're fighting for the same thing, you know. You both love each other, you both care about each other, so why are you fighting against each other, you know? You need to fight together to create, you know, just a stronger bond, you know. And that's why I'm letting go of it, you know. Every day it's gonna be easier, I hope, but I just want it to be known, and this is my testimony for that, you know. I recognize the way that I hold on to things, and I want to let go of those things. And I believe that this is going to be a lot easier, because now I finally feel like my feelings were validated, because for so long I didn't feel that way. But I feel a lot better now, and I feel like, you know, I'll get through this, you know. And I didn't really feel like that before, because I was hoping that, you know, hold on.